Welcome back to Phil on Gold. I'm carrying on with this series about making a ring from start to finish. This is the stone that we're setting, okay? It's a Picasso jasper, beautiful little stone. Well, not little, of course. If you remember from the last couple of videos I showed you, we made a setting to go around the stone. I showed you how to do that. And we soldered it onto a back plate, which was a little bit bigger than this. And I've just taken my tin snips, these are flat ones, straight ones you might say, and snipped off the excess. I also have a pair, I'll just show you these, of curved bladed snips, which are very handy if you're doing tight radiuses, especially around little cabs, little cabochons, say 6 or 8 mil. It's much nicer to do it with these. Okay, so essentially I've just cut off the spare, and now we're ready for the next process, which is to file all this up. Okay, now I think I gave you some misinformation last time when I did the inside of this shank, the ring. I told you I was using a cut 2 file. I wasn't, I was using a cut 4 file. Okay, doesn't really matter, I just wanted to get things right. Okay, I'm going to start off with this file. It's a little coarser. I can't really remember what it is. It's certainly a bit coarser than the cut 4. For those people who don't understand about this cut nonsense with files, it all appertains to the coarseness of the file, okay? If you go on to, well, many sites that you can get all the information about files, okay? So I'm going to start off with this one because it's quite coarse. I'm going to file away, file away. It is a little bit of a laborious job, and I may cut it short, finish it off, and then come back to you. I'll just do a small section and find something that's not too bad. Okay, always file away from you, and always try and follow the contour of the object that you're filing, okay? Now essentially I'm trying to keep the file away from this bit here at the moment. You notice it's quite wibbly wobbly, it's not as nice and fluid as it was last time. That's because when I was soldering the backing plate on, everything started to buckle a bit. And to be honest with you, I had to stop and re-solder it a couple of times. I don't mind telling you that. Still not absolutely square, but it'll be wonderful when I've finished. Okay, so I'm just filing off this little bit here. I'll carry on and show you. The idea is to, I mean, I'm left-handed as you can see, but the idea is to lock one hand off on your jeweler's peg or your bench somehow. Get yourself comfy and file away. There's a lot of work to this, but you just have to keep beavering away at it. Okay, now I can see by the way I'm filing and touching this, the bezel setting a bit here, so I'm getting somewhere near. So I'm going to change files to this very nice 6-inch hand file. This is cut 4. I think it's a Swedish make, I can't remember, but it's a very, very nice file. You can see it's quite new. A lot of my stuff is quite new because, as you may know, I stopped making jewellery for a long time because I was very ill. In actual fact, I had to have a liver transplant. It's a showstopper, isn't it? And for many years before and for many years afterwards, I couldn't make jewellery. My hands were like this. It was impossible. Okay, so you can tell when you get used to working with a file, the way it cuts through the metal or glides, how it's working, you know. Right, I don't want to go too far with this. I shall finish it off camera, but just to show you the processes. So now we go back to the buffing stick. This is a 600. Okay, I'll try and mark them all up so I know. Having said that, once you use the thing, it all gets smoothed off a lot. So a 600 ends up like a 1200 after a while. Again, these numbers, they appertain to the smoothness or coarseness A 600 grit, as it's called, wet and dry, is much coarser than a 1200. I think I've got that right. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see clearly enough on here. We've got some solder marks, okay? They've all got to be filed off, and I've got to go all the way around the thing, finish it all off, make it nice, and prepare it for being attached to the shank, okay? So I'm going to finish this particular portion right now, get on with doing this off camera, because you don't want to be watching me filing for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or hours, whatever. And I'll be back with you next time. So this is Phil on Gold saying cheerio for now.